Welcome back to the Front Mission 2 walkthrough, and now what we're going to do is go over and head to the maintenance area, and we're going to check out the shop. Alright, so now, like any other shop, make sure you talk to the guy running it. Sometimes they'll give you a useful piece of advice, or, maybe a network address. You always want to check on that. Sometimes it might even relate to a secret mission, and don't worry, I'll be covering those throughout the playthrough. There's only, I think 2 main secret missions, maybe 3, but I only recall 2. Anyway, you're going to go to the parts, and the first thing you're going to do is sell these old Gizas that you had, since we're not going to need them. Get the extra credits. And they're going to back out. And now we're going to check out the computers. Let's see, they have an Abbott and Balliol, but if we go back here and check our setup, we'll see which ones we have. Now, as you know, the Balliol is the better CPU, so let's see which ones they have. Looks like she's got an Abbott, and she's got an Abbott. Quick little tidbit of information. Sayuri is short range, and Lisa is long range, just in case I didn't mention in another video, if you hadn't seen the main upgrades and, pilots and skills one, along with their actual mechs. Anyway, back out. So now from checking that out, we know what kind of CPUs they're going to need. So the first thing we're going to do is get them a better CPU, since that's absolutely critical. We're going to get 2 Balliols, and then we're going to overclock them, all the way. And that used up a pretty good amount of money. But anyway, back out and then go back into the maintenance area setup. And now we're going to administer those CPUs, which are very much needed. Going to load it into Topaz here for Lisa. And we are going to switch it to mode number 3. Because that's going to take short up a lot, and that's also going to give her long range, which is what's necessary right now anyway, or rather in general. And then we're going to go to Sayuri, and what we're going to do for her is also load the Balliol 4, like we just upgraded, and she's all short range. So by coincidence, it's also going to be modes 3 for the Balliol 4. And we're just going to do that for both of them right now. Now, once you've done that, the next thing you're going to want to do is go back to the shop and then hit the setup option. And now we're going to see what we can do for their actual mechs. Now, Lisa, as you know, is long range, but the first thing we're going to check to see if there's a backpack. And there is. Now, backpacks are essential because, well, basically there's the item one if you need it, but it's always a good idea to use the one that's going to increase the movement and mobility of your mech. You're always going to want to do that. And then you just load yourself up with, missile pods and other things of that nature. Sometimes it helps being more mobile. Sometimes it helps having more ammo. That's going to change throughout your playthrough depending on what the mission demands and how skilled you are or not. And it doesn't look like there's very much available. I think we'll be okay with the Jury X. And I think what we're going to do is just stick another missile launcher on her. Because I think the right shoulder is that's AA. That's anti-air. So for her left shoulder, what I'm going to do is actually give her the P-Lover M2 standard missile. So she can do anti-air and also anti-ground. Another thing I need to note is that this is the worst rocket launcher in the game. I know some of you might be eager and you're like, oh, it does ground rockets, awesome. No, this thing, despite what its stats say, it's inaccurate as hell and it's just not effective. Don't bother with it. Seeing as that's really all we can do for her, but given the fact that we still have really high movement and mobility, I'm just going to stick another machine gun on her just because I can. And that's going to be it for Lisa. Now we're going to move down to, we're going to move down to Sayuri. And for Sayuri, since we already know she's short range, hey, let's give her a Jury EX anyway. And given the fact that she's already got anti-air rockets, and there's no good actual regular rockets, as I've just told you, all we're going to do for her left shoulder is just give her a shield. You know, just give her a shield, call it a day. Not a problem. And Lisa's going to be just fine with some regular missiles and some AA missiles. And the reason why you're able to do this so early on and just kit them out is because they've got these overpowered Wanzers. See, I mean, you see, look at us. Movement 10, mobility 34, and look over here. Movement 9, mobility 29. But don't forget to put the backpack on, because that backpack makes a good difference. See, I got the item backpack on that's only 9 and 29, but I put the energy one on that's 10 and 30. And as you increase in level and like, you know, high level gear becomes available for your Wanzers, you're going to notice that increase steadily over time. But the weight of parts and how much power output they have, like, there's a lot of different factors in this game that'll probably result in you mixing and matching parts. That'll take care of this short upgrade video for Lisa and Sayuri. So once you're done with that and you have like all their parts kitted out and you have their computers upgraded, you'll notice we've still got a little bit of money left, but we're going to need to grind the arena once we arrive to Dalcon Dive, because each party in the game has a different inventory, and that also means different money. So that's something you're going to have to deal with. Anyway, once you've done all that, go back out to the main menu and save your game. And I will see you on the next video.